Welcome back to Zero by Ideas. I'm Jason, and that didn't take very long, and you guessed it, I modified my stock ticker game again. Uh, I was rewatching the last video to see what I'd actually done, because I don't work on it too consistently to actually remember what I had been doing. But I made some significant changes. Oh, that's really weird. I don't like that. Oh, that made it worse. That seems fine. So I'm just going to launch it here as just one player. Rest assured, if there was a second player, they would be functioning properly. I'm going to hide myself for a second. Okay. I'm also going to turn down the background music because I keep forgetting it's there. Okay. I'm on the wrong map. Okay, main menu. Okay, still black, but not actually black because it's based on a widget. Let me just change to a different tab so it's bigger. There we go. My game, let me pop this back in here. My game is not called Stock Market Brawl anymore. At least temporarily, as a new name, it's called Day Traders, as you can see here. I'm bad at naming things. I asked my friends for names. They came up with some names that didn't work or were already in use. And then while thinking about it, I came up with Day Traders, which is play on Day Traders, as you can see in the background there. I'm not a logo designer. I'm not a graphic artist. I'm happy with this. It gets the point across. The way I'm going to tie it into the game is that somewhere in the game there's going to be a sign that's part that says like "Welcome to Day Trader Park." So in the game, the Day Trader is used. So for this to be a title that's a play on Day Trader is also going to be a play on the name of this park area that you're in. In the last video, when you loaded up the game, there was a mess of text on the screen to explain things. That is now in this button called Tutorial. My only issue with the tutorial is, first of all, it is still pretty wordy. The designer of the tutorial, keep reading where the button is to continue the tutorial. It's up here in the top corner. I don't know if it's because it's gray and it blends in. I mean, I need to make it the same color as the other buttons on the main menu there. But I also don't know why that's dark. I forgot about that. But it tells you the same information, is sort of in a way that's not thrown all in your face at one time. It's still a lot. I acknowledge that. And there's some pop-ups here you can see behind my face telling you how to use the phone. Make that error go away. Go away. I think there's one more. Some extra stuff, and then it closes and goes back to the menu here. Exit button works. I'm not going to prove it to you. It just does. And then we have these two menus. Why are they blue? I don't know. Why the button's green? I still don't know. They just are. I found these buttons in a pack of graphics I bought from a Humble Bundle. I thought they looked nice. This is just blue. The one thing that it does that I like is that this little blue bar extends here to show you which thing you're on, so they don't have to change the button color to say like, oh, you're on this one or this one. Making them switch back and forth was actually obnoxious, and I did it wrong, and it didn't work for the longest time. So it's actually much more straightforward. Got more room for options down here. I have a plan to implement more options, things like game length, things like I kind of want to be able to modify how the stocks change, but I probably won't do that. That seems like too many extra steps. How fast you can throw, how long you're invincible for, how often the stocks change, I think was one of my thoughts. But for now, it is enable combat, which should actually be ticked by default because it is the recommended way to play. You'll notice there is characters here. I believe in the last video when you connected, went to the lobby and it gave you the two characters. You can choose which one you want to play as. Now it's just this here. A little box tells you which one you're selected on. And as soon as you click it, it's set. It's not like it has to, when you click start, it's going to, oh, which one did you pick? No, as soon as you click it, it's set, which I feel like saves an extra step that no one is going to care about but me. Other thing, names required. If you click start without a name, it says required. Same thing over here. Says required. This one should switch to say it's required too, but it doesn't for some reason, and now I'm not sure why that is. But the other thing is that the host doesn't make up codes anymore. This is generated randomly. It's generated a stupid way. It's an array of 26 entries where each one is one letter, and then it just gets a random integer 4 times and then picks that item out of the array and makes a code. There's 0 checks in there to make sure it doesn't spell an actual existing word. I think it's unlikely to spell a bad 4-letter word, but I guess it's possible. So I think it'd be pretty easy to make an array to quickly make sure that your code doesn't spell a word that it shouldn't. Anyway, so the generate code generates it automatically, puts it in here. You can't change it. If I switch back, it changes it to something else. Whenever you click it, it makes a new code. Enable combat. I didn't realize it keeps the player name there. I guess that makes sense because everything in this box is one panel. So when you click this, all it's doing is showing or hiding this panel, and if you click this one, the only thing it's doing is changing whether this is this and whether this is this. Otherwise, this is all the same information because there's no reason to have it twice. It was originally in my head, it was going to be 2 different panels that had all the exact same information, and that's just stupid. Anyway, so RQLF, you tell your clients RQLF. I guess I need to be helpful if it showed this somewhere in the lobby so you don't have to remember it, because once you click connect start, it's just gone. There's no way to get that back. So I'm going to have to store that somewhere. I guess I could put it on the screen or something. But anyway, this loads into the lobby. The only problem with this currently is that, I mean, those billboards shouldn't say text on them. I mean, they shouldn't say anything, but they are the same billboards that the main game uses, which has that. So I guess I could, they must have the word text in them by default. I could probably delete that and then it won't say it anymore. My other issue with this is this character here is not the character that you play in the game. And it probably doesn't matter to anyone except me, but in the game there's a game character, in the lobby there's a lobby character. The game character does all the stuff that the game does. The lobby character does nothing except exist and let you walk up to this terminal, and it detects that you are the lobby character and it lets you play. I did this whole thing I think before the last video, where I streamlined how the characters work. So there's one character, base character, and then 2 variants, which is the male character and the girl character. So that casting and stuff like that, you don't have to cast to like one. Originally, we'd cast to the guy and go, oh, did that fail? Then cast to the girl, oh, that one succeeded. But now it just casts to the base class, the game character, and it doesn't care whether it's the name Joe and Louise. Those are the Mixamo models I got. It doesn't care if it's Joe or Louise. It just casts that class of character, and it works because it belongs to that class. Nobody cares. But the lobby character is still its own character, and the only way to make it to use the same character would be to disable the HUD and combat and stuff, and it just seems like an unnecessary amount of modifying to the base character. Because even if I made the lobby character derivative of the base character, you would still inherit all of the functions and still do the base character stuff. Computer fan made a weird noise. So I don't think there's any problem with having them be their own character. The only purpose they serve is to walk around the lobby, wait for people to connect, and then connect. Only the host can click start. That's always been the case. I don't think the start button even shows up for the non-host. This is one other problem that I cannot solve yet. For the first 10 seconds, it just says, well, you saw their default text. And it does that for only the server, only the host. The client sees nothing. And then 10 seconds later, when the stocks change for the first time, they all work. And from that point on, they work fine. I genuinely have no idea why that is the way it is. Let me just hit the J key to disable the sound. I don't know why I made it the J key. You can't re-enable the sound effect. J again, nothing happens. J turns the music off and then never turns back on. You can't hear it because I muted it, but it bothers me. Things that changed in here, I moved the billboards up so you can see them from further away if you even cared. The only point of the billboards at this point, because you can't see the numbers anymore, is if they're outlined in yellow, they are above $1 and they're paying dividends, if that matters to you. The other things that I did, because I'm pretty sure I walked up to this in the last video and showed that that's a new graphic that pops in there. If I didn't, well, then there you go. They're grayed out because you can't sell when you don't have them. The third button, the buy and sell max, is grayed out because it does not work. Many moons ago, I encountered a problem where I couldn't either sell or buy the max shares, and I just abandoned it. So I'm going to change it at some point to, I don't know, maybe, what, 10,000 seems low. 25,000 maybe? Just a bigger number. Probably for buying and selling. I was gonna say for buying and then sell, you can sell all pretty easily. I don't remember if buying or selling was the problem. Only one was. I don't remember why or what I did to make it not work. Oh, this is solid. I did not know that. Is that solid? Am I standing on it? No, I'm definitely in it. Why is it so shallow? I'm pretty sure I'm floating there. Okay, well, that's weird. I mean, there's still problems. This is really hideous. Okay, I can get it. The loans haven't changed since the last video, I'm pretty sure. I have too much money to take a loan. If I bought something and I dropped down below 5,000, it would say you can take a loan. Once you have a loan, you pay. When you walk up here, it only gives you the option to repay a loan, because you will never have a scenario where you would have a loan to repay and also have not enough money to so little money that you could take a loan. You'll never have both. That can't possibly happen. I changed the logos here. You can see how those two are in decline. It's not arrows anymore. It's the oh, that one's going up. It's this cool little stock thing, which is also that's odd. I can't make the greenhouse come up. That works. Why doesn't shift work? Everything else works. Oh, I haven't seen that happen yet. Oh, silver crashed. I already saw that. Oh, no, I didn't see that. Oh, damn it. Okay, hang on. Let me move me to somewhere that isn't in the way. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, when a stock crashes, or when it used to be when a stock paid a dividend, a little message appeared at the top of the, see my cursor? Yeah, appeared right here to say like gold paid dividend or whatever what the amount was, and it was just text. It was hard to see, so I changed it so it looks a little bit more like a text message. I just realized it's only supposed to tell you. So I changed so that it stores a message if it splits or crashes, but it apparently tells you that even if you don't own any of that stock, which I did not know. So that's interesting. Also rotated the sun, the skylight, so it's not as bright everything was really bright and it made really weird shadows. So, I mean, the shadow problem is obviously not fixed. But I feel like it's not as bright. Anyway, the text message now shows up and it's like a little blue text message box. I guess I could buy some shares and if it got a dividend, you'd see it pop up. Maybe it'll pop up. It's over $1. Could. It's got a 1-3 chance of paying dividend. Okay, what else did I fix? I can't show the greenhouse. I don't know why. That won't show up. What else did I do? Nothing really it's visible, I guess. I did a lot of back-end stuff. Tweaking how different things appear. Changing how the vendors work. What else did I fix? I'm working on the final leaderboard right now, which I can't show you because the greenhouse won't come up. I don't know why. You know what? Let's just relaunch. Did I disable for some reason the greenhouse appearing? Can't see why I would have. Probably just a. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, and it's in front of the phone, which is not supposed to be. So that's interesting. Oh wait, no, yeah, it is supposed to be in front of the phone. Oh, that's the other thing that does. When the phone is up and you walk up to the vendor, it goes back down. It's oops. It seems like a trivial thing. There we go. Yeah, I can't use gradients anymore. Okay, that's very weird. Oh, and comment's not enabled because I didn't check the box. I really gotta tell it to be enabled by default. Nope. Nope. There we go. Okay, alt tabbing prevented me from using shift, so that's very annoying. The greenhouse is still ugly. That's one of the things I'm working on here. It still looks like this. It's still a hot mess. This is all like too big and takes up too much space for no reason. I mean, it literally takes up space for no reason because you can look around to see what the values are. Down here, I've got this absolute nightmare of text here, which would not show. It's only going to show one row per player, and it's going to fill it in with the actual information, how many shares you have of each one. Your final score is the value of your shares plus your money minus loans or unpaid loans. I'm going to put unpaid loans over here. When it looks like this is going to be like an ad for the bank, which will tell you the terms of getting a loan to the bank, or if you have to have how much money or whatever. This is like a sort of a tutorial thing. And then at the end game, this is going to change. So these boxes won't be here. This won't say top investors, I guess. Maybe this will take up less space. It should take up less space anyway. And then maybe over here, the bank advertisement will change to a list of like unpaid loans or something like that. So it's not taking up space in here. This, I don't know how to make this take up less space. It literally can't because that's everything. Do you need to know how many shares you had at the end of the game, or how many shares like your opponents had at the end of the game? Not really, no. But I was thinking like end of Mario Party, there's like just all this data that no one really cares about. I mean, some people care about, but like how many landed on red spaces, how many coins did you win? Well, I guess that's important. How many bonus spaces did you land on? Not relevant at all, unless there's a bonus star for it. But I was thinking, if the greenhouse comes up at the end of the game and doesn't go back, you can't make it go away, then it should have everything that it should have your final game state. It's going to sell your shares. It's going to sell your shares, give you the money for it, add to your money, sell your loans in the background, and give you your final amount. And I can't make it take up less space than that. Oh, you know what else I did? Which might have not been obvious unless it didn't happen. Okay, I'll do it again. This here, max and min, this little box here should appear and tell you how much. Sorry, tell you what stocks you have the most of and what stock you have the least of. One or the other, or the most and the least. Let me go over here. We'll go by Like I can buy something, it's just the text there is wrong. I can't make the grayness come up again. Okay, well you take my word for it, that box will change color. The other thing is, now I'm green because I own more bond shares than anything else. If I come over here to buy more green than I have bonds, well, it's still green. Okay, so that's broken. I was expecting a surprising reveal there. What if I buy a bunch of these? Yeah, now I'm pink. Okay, hang on. Yeah, that's weird. I should have turned yellow when I bought the grain shares. And if so, now I mean, I guess you could say I'm pink. It, all I did was tint the material, and it's default blue. So Photoshop can only do so much, making if you adjust the hue and saturation of a blue suit. But if I come over here, I sell all of these. I am green, but I should definitely be yellow. What if I sell my... That's interesting. I bet... I would wager a guess that that is caused by turning a number into an enum into a stock name. Because my stock names go 0 to 7 because there's a none on 0 and 7 is bank, but 1 to 6 are my 6 shares. But everywhere else, like in my portfolio, the shares are stored in an array which goes 0 to 5. So 0 is gold, but the name gold of shares is enum number 1 in the list. So I bet that it's not using the right number. So grain would be it's probably assigning a color based on 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. No. 0 to 5. And because grain is 6, it's not doing that. So let me just hang on, let me pause for 1 second. Okay. Yes, I was right. So when you buy shares, it checks your maximum and minimum shares. The minimum is only used in that one box for the greenhouse. The maximum is used for the box and your suit color. So what it does is here, it does a for statement, a for loop, does all 6 stocks. It turns an integer into an enum and then checks that one. So it checks that stock, finds it in here, sees if it's bigger than the existing biggest, which starts at 0, so it's always first one's always bigger. And as long as something is bigger than 0, as long as there's at least 1, then you would change color. The does the same thing for the less. Starts at 1 million, like 10 million, an unreasonable amount of number you'll never stocks you'll never have or shares. Checks that, and then if it's less, it sets the ignored stock type non-zero. So you have to have at least 100 shares of it. But if it's the least one, then it's your ignored shares. And then down here, if your primary stock type and ignored stock type are the same stock, that means that you only have like say 100 shares of bonds. That's your most shares and your least shares because the rest are all zeros. So it sets your ignored shares to none because you don't have that. Anyway, in the middle here, it changes your player color. Player color is a function on the base class that's overridden on on Joe and Louise because they have different skins. So they have these different materials that get passed into here and then updated with the new color. So it's based on primary stock type. So the value that gets passed in here is whatever this value is here, which is an enum, which is converted from an integer. But you'll see right here that my for loop goes 0 to 5. So when it takes a 0 and converts that into an enum, that's none. You can see right here, first enum is none. So it only goes none, gold, silver, oil, industry, bonds, and then stops. It never processes grain. So if I change this to 1, oops, that's 2. Change that to 1 and this to 6. Now it will actually work. Because now we'll go from gold to green. Just need that by default. And change color. I'm glad I found that right now. And I can fix it so easily. Let me just run down here then and prove that I can buy, let's say, gold and turn whatever color this is. And then I run over here and I can buy some green. I will turn yellow if I buy more green than I have. You can make this come up while you're at the vendor, but I thought it'd be helpful for it to just hide by default. So if I go boop, 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 and even buy 100 more shares, then in theory, I have changed color. And now I'm, I don't want to say yellow, but not the color I was before. Yeah. Still can't open the greenhouse. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why my shift key doesn't always open the greenhouse. Everything else works. I can change that. I can change that. F changes. F does not change that. Did I? I know I can do it with the scroll wheel. Maybe I disable it so the F doesn't change that anymore. Well, that's good to know. I guess I'll remove that icon then. Or change it, I guess? What the hell icon would I use down there instead of a... Oops. Down here instead of an... No, you can't even see that. There's an F down there at the bottom that says press F to change our projectile type. Green. Pink. I would like to change this projectile to not a ball. Oops. I kind of want to make it a... Interesting. If I change the stock type before it actually throws, even though the animation has started, changes color. Interesting. I don't know why it does that. You would think it would be assigned the... No, I know it does that. It's because when you click the mouse button, the animation starts, but the projectile doesn't spawn until the hand is like up here, and then it spawns from the position of the hand, which means that it's not spawning at the start of the animation. So between the animation starting and it spawning, I can change the color of the thing, and then it spawns with whatever color it is. I guess I could lock it in as soon as you click. It could set the type, but I don't feel like there's no advantage to that. Yeah, there's zero advantage to being able to change the projectile type while you're throwing it. I think that's it. I mean, let's open this here. Let's see what else I've changed. Game mode, player controller, title. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the only thing that I gotta remove the button that changes the shot type. I changed the tutorial button to be not gray. I gotta finish making this thing not look like whatever the hell. And what's the other thing that I just learned how to do? Replace the projectile with a rock or something. The shares that fall out, I would love to change too. Right now there's just a colored box. I don't know what the hell it should look like to have shares of a stock fall out of your body. Well, it's got to be a thing. It can't just be like a file folder. It's got to be something solid. But I don't know what would represent that. Like a stack of money, like a stack of like shares, I guess, kind of. I don't know. Let me just think. Is that everything? Hang on 1 second. Yeah, no, I think that was it. The only other thing that I've changed recently was that I added the player data struct holds more information now. It holds your final score, your loans, your maximum stock, your minimum stock, because it's easier to pass that around. Just extract what I need and not only pass around the individual things. Especially because I can't pass a map through a function or something. I don't remember what the issue with that is, but I can pass it if it's inside a struct, which seems like cheating. But since I have the struct anyway, it works. So yeah, I know I said it before. The game is effectively functionally done. Obviously you can't have a game end and not have the leaderboard pop up, so that's a thing that doesn't do. Um, but otherwise, oh, that's the other thing I was gonna do was change the billboard. Which one is it? Oh, I forgot player billboard existed. That used to show who the player in the lead was. I don't use that anymore. Okay, viewport, text. Yes, you have a default text. There we go. Now it won't show that in the lobby. That's good. You know what? It shouldn't show the yellow either. Can I make this... what the hell are you? Why are you... What do you have weird... I don't know why this is a weird visibility thing. But this changes div payable, new visibility. Are you connected to that? No, you're not bound to that. What changes that? Hang on one second. Yeah, okay. It's fine. So the it's hidden by default, or not visible by default, as soon as the stock, as soon as the value is passed in, it finds its own value, checks if the value is over 100, and then sets this to be true or false, and then tells it to be visible based on the boolean there. So it won't be yellow in the lobby because it's hidden. The text won't show up. Nothing will show up until it's propagated. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to end this extremely long video. I will give you a little sneak peek of something here. This little something I'm working on. I have 6 shares and a hexagonal gazebo in a square map. I would like to maybe not have that. What do you think? I have to re-terraform everything, which is a pain in the butt. I don't know why I have 2 gazebos here. You are not a gazebo. You are the... Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I have one of these stalks on each side. The bank has to exist somewhere, so I guess it's going to be over there. And I'll just make new paths and grass and move the trees around. Something I'm working on. Not necessary whatsoever. This level works perfectly fine. Even if it's like weirdly square and this path is bizarre. And but anyway, I rambled enough. Thanks for watching. See you next time when I'll have more probably freaking stock ticker to show you. Or stock market brawl, day traders, whatever the name ends up actually being eventually. Thanks for watching.